Welcome to the Fold Mysteries, where we seek to discover everything that lies between the folds of reality. So it has been a little bit since we have been on, and I am really excited to be back. I know the holidays kind of gave us a little hiatus, and um, I think that there wasn't any recoup time, honestly, because it was back-to-back activity for me and my family. How about you, Chad?
Oh, let's see. Thanksgiving fell on a Thursday.
Yep,
Christmas fell on a Thursday.
yep.
When did New Year's fall?
Uh, I don't.
It wasn't a Thursday, I don't think. It couldn't be three.
I think. Well, no, I think it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I believe.
Um, no, actually, New Year's was Thursday too. I'm positive. All three fell
I,
on a Thursday. Yes.
hold
Look it
on.
up. Look it up.
I'm
Yes.
gonna look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no. Yeah,
Thanks.
Thursday. Christmas was. Christmas was no. I'm in November. I'm dumb. Christmas was Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day was Thursday. I was thinking New Year's Eve. New
Ah,
Year's Day was Thursday. So yes, you are correct. That's
uh-huh.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been very, very, very busy, but I think that we come back with a splash. I mean, we have a really, really, really awesome guest tonight, one from out where I'm at. So I'm really excited to introduce to you guys Mike Miller from the Night Stalkers. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
I'm gonna
having me.
move you over here. Yeah, no, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm
So
driving home from work. I don't know if you can see me or not, but
Yep.
that's okay. I'm really glad that you worked us into your schedule. I know you're super, super busy with your employment, and I know they drive you pretty much all over the place. So I'm happy that you were able to make it.
yeah,
So,
me too.
me too. So, Mike Miller, you are the co-founder of the research group, the Ohio Night Stalkers, which I typoed in the description. I will fix it after the fact, but I just put the Night Stalkers. But you are the co-founder of the Ohio Night Stalkers. Mike
Yes.
was always captivated by the stories of unexplained things. Growing up, then a few years later, a local news report drew him into a personal quest for answers. After some early guidance on natural and unnatural things found in wooded areas, later on, Mike met his current research colleagues rather, and began recording the events that happened at night during the research. Those bone chilling recordings have since been analyzed by professional sound analyst David Ellis of Washington State with exciting results. Mike likes to bring actual field evidence straight to the public via library programs and presentations at Bigfoot conferences. So, yes, your audio has been very, very, very thoroughly analyzed. And I'm kind of curious, you didn't mention in your bio what those results were, but what was the final analysis of those recordings?
Well, David said that he could not claim it was Bigfoot since Bigfoot's not been certified, but he could say that we recorded no known animal in North America, and that some of the recordings, because he not only his computer program identifies sounds. It also shows on the spectrogram where the audio goes in the hertz band. He said some of those recordings pegged higher than a baboon on the spectrograph, and that's evidence.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that kind of analysis to say that it's no known animal. And for any of those that aren't familiar, each animal shows up differently on the spectrograph, like Mike was saying. And they
Mm-hmm.
tend to have very similar patterns each time. And they can tell what type of animal has made those sounds based on the pattern in the spectrograph. So when you say it's been analyzed as no known animal, that's basically saying that it has had the pitch and control and sound of an animal that's not been recorded. So that's really cool evidence.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it
So
matches. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go ahead. I wanted to hear what you said.
I was just going to say, he said that this audio matches a lot of the other unknown, unexplained audio from other locations in the United States.
So it's interesting to me because it didn't match any known animal, but it matches other audio, which is
Yeah,
other unknown animals or whatever they are. So that's wild to me that you've made those kind of captures. So I mean, kudos to you. Now,
thank you.
um, how long have you been out in the field, or how long does it take you to be out in the field to find that type of audio? Or do you think that location and the type of research you do is more important than the amount of time you spend in the field?
Yeah, I don't really worry about it. As like we go as much as we can with family commitment and work, of course, but we just kind of get lucky. Adams County has been really good to us, and there's just a lot of areas. I look for something really woolly to get into. If it's hard for you to get into as a human being, uh, they're probably going to be there. And so far, that's held pretty true. I have a topographical map, so I can check waterways and stuff. But I don't know. Just I don't worry about how many times to go out.
Am I frozen?
No. I think he is uh out of service. So we'll wait till he gets back on. But I think he was saying it doesn't matter as much as how much you go out. I think
Mhm.
he's basically saying like
Wow,
going
the
to these
cops went by
very
me.
remote.
Am I still
Yeah, you
there?
want to repeat what you said after you said it doesn't matter so much how much you
Am
go
I still
out?
in the program? Yeah, it doesn't
Mm,
matter. It's just you always get excited when you go into a new area because you think you might get something, and it's just exciting to be out there and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
mhm,
like what you said about trying to go into like spaces that haven't been polluted by people. You know, if it's harder for a person to get into, then that's where you want to look. So yeah,
mhm.
I find that to be true as well. Um, so how
Yeah.
long have you been doing this as the Ohio Night Stalkers?
Oh, wow. Since probably like 2014, 2013, 2014. Um, just I spent a few years before that, before I met the other Mike who's since retired. Um, I met George Taylor through Dan Mosier, and he took me into some local areas, but this was all during the daytime, and he would show me the difference between the uh, natural storm damage and unnatural. But I'm going off on a rabbit trail there, but yeah, probably around 2014 with the Night Stalkers.
Nice. Now, something you didn't mention in your bio that I think is worth pointing out is that you were on an episode of Terror in the Woods. I hope it's okay that I point that out. Um,
Yes,
but the reason being for that is you had quite the harrowing experience where you also captured audio during that experience, correct?
yes, it
So I
was
want you to tell
October
me about
11th,
that.
2014. Yeah,
But
sorry.
first,
Yeah.
tell me how long you were researching prior to that experience.
Prior to that, I had mostly went during the day and just looked at structures with George, and found some tracks and stuff in different areas. And then I met Mike Feltner through Mark Mills, and we had did a couple things during the nighttime. I think toward the end of 2013. But bands, they change personnel and kind of had that go on, and Mike and I decided to spin off on our own there. But it was probably right in 2014 is when we started going out and recording stuff.
Okay. So tell me about that night because that is an amazing. I mean, if that's something you want to cover tonight, but I feel like it's an amazing story to tell everybody.
Yeah, we that was our pretty much first time into Adams County, and using some BFRO reports, and I got a hold of a map. I found a road that dead ended into a cemetery of all things on the map, so we went to go look at it in real time during the daytime, because I always like to recon stuff, you know, and we went back in there during the day, and it was creepy during the daytime. So we're like, yeah, we're coming back here at night, and we had to wait out a bunch of rain, and then finally about 9:30, 10 o'clock, we headed back out. You know, the TV show has us out there during the daytime, which we were to do recon, but we didn't start, you know, Bigfooting right then, you know, but they kind of took some liberties with stuff, but they kept it
Yeah,
serious,
of course.
so no big deal. But anyway, we went back out there, and this road is probably 5 miles long. It's very windy, hilly, rugged. Got to have a 4-wheel drive to get back in there. And you know, we stopped at the first spot, and we recorded what we think is a younger one. And on the original recording, you actually hear Jordan say, you know, Mike's son, that was a scream. And do you want me to just keep going and tell what happened?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing else happened there. So we drove on down. I'm driving, of course. So forgive me. I got.
We can see that. We hear the turn signal.
That's right. UPS driver. I gotta obey the laws. But anyway, nothing else happened there. So we drove to where the road dead ended into the graveyard. And you know, this place is so woolly, and the trees are right up on the trail and on the road. I actually felt more comfortable in the graveyard than everywhere else we went that night. And I know that makes no sense, because you know the trees are cut away, and if something came to get me, I would see it coming, and I'd be able to have a heart attack. I'd be able to have a heart attack and die before it got me. But
that's why I don't like the dark. I want to see what's coming at me.
yeah, and you know they showed us with flashlights. No, we use red or blue light to set up, and we're there in the dark, so there ain't no lights going on like they showed. But they did that for suspense purposes. But
Of course.
yeah, we get to the graveyard, we set up. Jordan did fall asleep. He's in the back of the car. We almost gave up. We were there probably 45, 50 minutes. Nothing happened. And then we heard movement around us. More than one thing, you know. And then we heard some we had some whistles. And then all of a sudden they just cut loose. And it was, I had never experienced that before. And, you know, to that degree. And, you know, Mike and I kind of talked the whole time during it, which is a bad, that's a no-no. You don't do that. But we were just so excited. And the coyotes joined in with these things, but there's a clear distinction in those recordings between the coyote and the creature, because the coyotes are way higher pitched, and even if they do a howl, a coyote always goes back to that yippy dog-like thing.
Yeah.
And this other thing wasn't doing that. It was actually sounding out vowel sounds. It's screams, whatever you want to call it, went from oohs to ahs, would finish with an ah sound, and just the duration and the power. And it was just incredible. And just like, you know, the other place, it happened for a little bit, and then boom, it just all quit, like somebody flipped a switch. We waited another 30, 40 minutes to see if anything would happen. Nothing happened. So, you know, it's one way into this place, one way out. So we start heading out, and we stop at a place we call the bridge. There's a little metal bridge there. And we get out, and this is one of the ones I sent you, the recordings. And I sent you one of the different versions that David Ellis sent me back. But at that location, that recording is one of the first ones David Ellis said, "Hey, this thing pegged higher than a baboon on this recording." And when it cut loose, and we're doing nothing to agitate or get this to happen, we're just there.
We can
But
pause real
this
fast if you want to like go over that recording real fast, just so everybody can hear that sound that you're talking about that happened in this moment. So
it'll be
which one
great.
was that? Was that the first, second, third, or fourth? Do you remember?
Do you see the titles? It'll say Bridge Original.
I
No,
do not. I'm
can't
going
have
based
it
on the
that way.
messenger one.
Just play them all.
Okay. I'll just
They're awesome.
we'll play it and
I'll tell you
this
something. Just play something and I'll tell you what it's from.
okay. Is that the one? All right.
I'm not hearing it.
I'm gonna
That's
bet that's the
crazy.
one. That
Crazy.
is really long and it's really loud and it's like this and it's like and you can hear you and Mike at the end saying how crazy it is. Is that the one?
No, that's more. The title of that one's More Quiet Howling. That was Adams County a couple years ago.
Okay.
But
So
you're
let's
there.
let's find the next one.
This is Angry Giant.
Wow. That's insane. Wow.
Now that was for Memorial Day a year ago, and that was a brand new area. That was the first time we had ever been there. And
I'm amazed.
Wow.
I'm really amazed how similar it sounded to the previous one. Like in a way, they weren't identical, but they were same types of sounds, and they carried on for so long. That was pretty. I like it.
Just further away. So it figures the last one I get to is probably the one you're talking about then.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, that one you just played, Memorial Day, but that one we call blasted a wolf howling, and that thing replied. And to me, that was the Big Daddy saying, "Hey, this is my damn yard." That's how I took that.
I like that, Big Daddy. Okay. I'm gonna play the last one. I bet this is the one that you're talking about as you were coming out. This is what
You know
heard.
what's the one he was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
coyotes going crazy in the background, but it's drowning them out. That is like,
but so that's not, is that repeated on purpose, or is that just it's repeating the same call?
No, I was getting right through there. That's a great question. That's the David Ellis version of that. What he did is he looped it 3 times so it repeats to make it easier to hear. And he actually subdued the coyotes on that one. If you hear the original one, they are way loud.
Wow.
But that is the one from the bridge. Yeah, that's
so
the one from the bridge.
You heard when you were coming out.
Yeah. And that's the one that pegged higher than a baboon, the first one.
Wow.
So they, I'll go back into the. You want me to go back into the story?
Yeah, please. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. No, you're fine. No, I wanted you to play the audio. The audio is the important thing. Anybody can get up, blab. I can blab and blab, but people want to hear audio. But,
wow.
That happened at that location. What we didn't realize, they were getting closer and following us. So we move on down this road, if you want to call it a road, and we stop. There's a spot where we call it the turnaround. It's the only spot on this road you can turn around if you needed to. And we got out there. We didn't do anything as far as calls or wood knocks, but Mike had done some howls earlier in the day to try to see how far they would echo and carry. This thing in the woods actually mimicked him. It sounded like his call, but a hell of a lot bigger, and it actually peeked around the tree at him. He's seen like half the head, one eye, and it peeked around and looked at him. And he, had a little bit of a, I won't say panic attack, but startled him. And the TV show made that anxiety attack a hell of a lot bigger than it was, but we were all on edge, and Mike actually seen it, so it got them pretty good. So
not to sidetrack you, but Terror in the Woods. Terror in the Woods has a tendency to embellish minor freakouts. So for our episode that they did this little they showed Kenny, which was one of the other people that was there with us that night, going like he actually went, oh, like that. And they showed him like full on high pitched scream. Everybody that was there when we watched it just started dying laughing. So they do embellish the minor freakouts a little bit. Go on though.
Yes, they do. But we get in the vehicle, we head on down. We decide to stop one more time, and we learned a lesson that night. After we left that bridge area, the batteries in the recorder died, and I'm not saying Bigfoot drained them. I'm just saying, they probably weren't full batteries when we started, and they died. We didn't have any backups, so
you should see my battery, Bill.
I've got a tackle box full of batteries now, but anyway, we stop again, and Jordan gets out this time, and he does a howl, and he's not even done howling, and we get a response, with creatures on both sides of this road. And at that point, it kind of dawned on us, wow, hey, we're being followed, and they're a hell of a lot closer. And I thought we were being herded, like, are they going to let us out of here or not? And I got extremely worried at that point. And at the same time, I'm hearing a sound. Air is escaping out of something, and I'm assuming it's a tire. And I was afraid Mike had driven over something. So I walk over by his vehicle, and it's not coming from any of his tires. It's coming from the wood line. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what in the world would be in the woods, leaking air. And I decided to go check that out. Not the greatest move, and I'm still thinking, it's some kind of
it's a good investigator.
Yeah, it's like a propane tank, something, maybe some idiot threw a tie. I don't know. I go into the woods with no light on and keep taking a step, and I'm listening. And I take a couple more steps and I stop and I close my eyes and I use my other senses and I'm listening to this, and it dawns on me that this is not air escaping out of a tire or a propane tank. There is something that I'm now within probably, I don't know, 25, 30 feet of that's breathing in and out.
Oh
And
my gosh.
with me getting closer, those breaths got deeper. And when it would breathe out, it would get that huff kind of, apes do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting goosebumps now talking about this. And at that point, I froze. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cuss, but
You can cuss on the show.
well, I'm like, holy shit, I'm in trouble.
Oh, the shit word is not allowed, though.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. You're
I'm
good.
kidding. I'm kidding.
It's okay. But it's breathing and it's doing that huff at the end. I'm afraid to move. But I got to get out of there, but I don't want to look like prey or turn and run, but I did want to turn and run. And while I'm debating what the hell I'm going to do to get out of there, this thing emits a very low, a very guttural roar. I don't know what you want to call it. I've never heard it other than that one time, and I don't ever want to hear it again. In my opinion, this was like the final warning. And I was so close to this thing. I not only heard it, everybody heard it, mind you, but I felt it. It reverberated off of me. Like if you've gone to a rock and roll concert and the bass and the drums, they beat off of your body, when you're standing there. That's what happened with this. It reverberated off of my body. I felt it. And at that point, I started backing out of there. And the TV show had, they showed me pull my gun out and fire a warning shot. I did not do that. I pulled my gun. I didn't point it. I held it down. I had it pointed down toward the ground. I didn't know if this thing was coming or not. And I thought I would have seen it happen anyway. And I backed up until I felt the gravel part of the trail. And I knew I was like out of that wooded area. And I turned, and I probably sounded like Michael Jackson. My voice was so freaking high pitched. And I yelled,
"No, what did you yell?"
We'll find out. I got questions for him,
Mike
though.
almost drew. Yeah, we were. Yeah, we're elevated. We're up on a ridge, and Mike almost drove off the freaking hillside.
Oh my gosh!
But he regained control of the car. We go down probably half a mile, and we stop. We're like, okay, let's calm down. Our adrenaline's through the roof. We're sitting there in the car. Lights are on. Car's running. Everybody's in the car. We're okay. We're safe. Let's calm down. Trying to do some breathing exercises. It's like three guys doing Lamaze classes in a car. And
trying to stay big and tough, right? Calm.
Yeah. Oh, that we were frightened, but a deer walks out in front of us and stops dead in front of the car. Doesn't look at us. Bright lights are on. It's looking at the direction we just came from. It snorts. Wow. It paws the ground. It turns around and it gets the hell out of there. So it knew those things were there. And then we got out of there. And that was October 11th, 2014. And I will never, ever forget that.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Thank God I didn't take another step. If I take one more step, this thing doesn't know I'm an idiot and I don't know what the hell's in I think it's a propane tank.
Right.
I take one more step, maybe this thing decides, hey, you're too close. Goodbye.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense. So that's the one that was featured on Terror in the Woods. That's the real story.
Yes, and that's also called These Woods Are Haunted on another channel.
Yeah, I can't remember which is which.
Those two are
It's like Terror in the Woods. These woods are haunted.
It's the same show. It's just on different networks called it a different program.
Right. Yeah, but exact same show.
Yes.
So yours was season 1.
One. Yeah.
Episode. Do you remember?
It's called Hunted by Bigfoot.
Okay. So
Okay,
actually, I've seen it. It was they did add some comedic things because I knew that you guys wouldn't react like that. So.
Gwendolyn, are you echoing to you, or is it like on my end?
No, I think it's on his end. I think we're getting some feedback, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So I'm just curious. I know you have some other audios here. So the one that you were talking about, that second to last one there. Let me go back to this. This second one here. You were telling us a little bit about that one. So we tell the story and we'll play it again.
Okay, if you play it so I know which one, then I'll stop.
That's actually terrifying because initially when it first starts, it sounds like a woman just screaming bloody murder.
That was a new spot we went to, and that was the first time we ever went there.
That's wild. So did you have anything like around you kind of, or did you, was that like a LDR? Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chad?
I hear you.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm kind of out in the country, so
okay.
I may cut in.
Echo's gone now too. That's good.
Yeah. So I was asking.
But we call blasted. Cody's got a call blaster, and it's got real animal sounds on it. So we'll play a wolf or wolves howling to just kind of stir things up, because I don't think there's wolves in Ohio anymore, but it'll stir the wildlife up for sure, because we usually get coyotes go crazy off of that one, and then we've gotten other things too.
So was that recorded on like an LDR, or
for that
was
one?
That
the very first one is Whoops. That was recorded in September of 25, and David just analyzed those and said that's not a human being doing those. It sounds very human-like. He said the first and third one are the same creature. The second one is a different one. But that was a reply we got after playing a coyote howl.
So you were there when you heard that? Chad, do you want to ask him that?
Were you there when you heard that? When you played the coyote call and you got that interaction? Were you there?
Okay.
I think
I don't think he can hear us. But I'm curious if you got that, captured that with an LDR, or if.
Oh, he's back.
Anybody there?
Yeah.
No, he can't hear us. We can hear him.
No, he can hear us now. Now he can, I think.
No, he can't. I'm kind of curious to see if he captured that with an LDR, or if he was actually physically there. No, you can't hear us.
I'm gonna slow down. There's a police officer that has a car pulled over.
I have a couple questions for him too, but he can't hear us.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
That's Judas Priest.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. You can't hear us.
Yes.
We can hear you. We can't. You
What can
can't
we
hear
I'm not
us.
hearing anything right now.
Can we remove them and add them? Maybe. Here. Shut up.
Can you hear us now?
Plug my phone in.
Pull over, Mike. Pull over to plug your phone in. Can you hear us?
us now?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
No, he can't.
But I think, okay, so let him come back in. But I think his recordings are fascinating. That one that we just played
Yep.
is wild. I was telling him,
Yep.
but he couldn't hear me. That one sounds like a woman just screaming bloody murder in the beginning. And I know people say coyotes can sound like that, but that didn't, or not coyotes, but foxes can sound like that. That didn't even
I'm back.
sound like a fox to me. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I
but
cannot.
they can
Okay.
sound like that, but they can't carry that vocal for that
No,
long.
they can't sound like that. They can
And
sound like a
she-
woman screaming, but it doesn't sound like that. That
And
was
like
a totally different sound.
20 seconds of straight screaming, they're
Yeah.
really not
And it
without
sounds like
like
there's
Mhm.
like a woman screaming, and then like more of a Bigfoot call that you would hear, and then it sounds like there's an animal in the distance.
Mhm.
But you said, Chad, what were you saying? I'm sorry. I was really excited.
that there's not a known, not even a bird that carried that call on for like 20 seconds straight. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's no, like you said, there's no wolves in Ohio, and it didn't sound like a wolf. It didn't even really
No.
sound like a coyote, but the coyotes went nuts when it screamed. And
Yeah, it's almost like there's two talking back and forth. Doesn't it, Mike? Like it's like maybe two vocals
Yes.
talking back and forth.
Yeah, some of the recordings
Um,
we have multiple creatures on it where they're communicating. The first one I sent you, where it's just an elongated whoop.
yeah.
There's three of them. That was from September last year, and that is David Ellis has analyzed that. He's the one that brought it up. Where it's easier to hear, but he said that's not people making those noises. That is not human beings, even though it sounds human-like. He said the first and third whoop are the same creature. The second one is a different individual.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought with that. I'm
yeah,
gonna play it one more time just because it's
the
so
second
crazy.
one
But
sounds like it's way further away. That's why, if you really listen to it, it sounds like it's a more distant than the original one they're recording, and then the one sounds like it's off like hundreds of yards away.
yeah, they definitely sound like they're just different distances. Now, before I play that again, Mike, was that recorded on LDR? Were you there actually hearing that going on?
No, we're there. Everything that's recorded, I don't leave recorders out. If I could buy a few more, maybe I might. But
Yeah.
no, anything that's been recorded, I was there.
Okay. I want to play that again because that's crazy. I mean, that just kind of blows my mind.
Well, that's not it.
Oh, that's the one we were talking about.
Well, that's the angry giant. That was from Memorial Day.
Yeah. We'll play the one you were talking about. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna play the first one. So that wasn't looped.
Yeah,
that was recorded.
September last year. The original recording, you hear, we recorded and kept it in there where Cody call blasted a coyote howling, and we got that response from playing that. Then waited a little bit, played it again, and got another whoop. But
Oh
we were in
man.
an area where the woods comes out of this area, and there's a cornfield way out in the front of this property. And because of that, I thought could there have been someone like out in their garage or something, heard the other thing and decided to play around? So I sent it to David Ellis to check to see if it was a person or not. He said it is not a human being.
Yeah. That's wild. I'm gonna play it one more time, that first one, because yeah, you can definitely hear it.
Did I lose you again?
That's wild. That is wild. And then you have one more on here. Oh, I'll play it so it kind of jogs your memory. Because it was pretty
I'm out in the
intense
country
too.
again in case I lose you.
Okay. I'm gonna play this other one if you can hear it. And because it's road rage. Tell me about this. Yeah, can you hear me again?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Nope. I can hear you actually. You can't hear me.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know. But when he goes back on, I want to play this other recording because it's one of the other really wild sounding ones. And I want to kind of hear the background on that one when he comes back on. But Mike is a very, very, very good researcher. He doesn't jump to conclusions. He's literally only out there to gather evidence and to learn from it and to get it analyzed. And so he takes what he does seriously. He doesn't go on a ton of podcasts, so we were really lucky to have him join us here tonight. I mean, even if he's driving, all technical issues aside, I've been really grateful to have him joining us for tonight. So welcome back. I can tell you can hear me because I can hear myself. But I wanted to jump into this other recording before you have to jump off. It's another really intense one, I think, and I'll play it so it jogs your memory. You can tell us about it.
Okay.
That's wild. So where was this recorded?
That's Adams County. That's probably not even 10 miles from the other location.
From the location where you had the story you were telling us about? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't hear myself anymore. That means he can't hear me.
Hello?
No, you can't hear me again. It's got to be. I think that.
Who's doing this?
Maybe you're going through your car audio, and that's probably. Hi, everyone. Meet my mascot, Vega. This is she's a really good girl. Let me see if I can get her to look over here. Look here. Look at everybody. She's a really good girl. She's just very, very clingy. All right, welcome back.
I'm back.
So tell us about that one.
That's Adams County. It's probably not even 10 miles from where the other one happened.
Okay, so the story you're telling us about, the one that was featured on TV.
Hold on, I lost you. What'd you say?
The story that you were telling us about where you're featured on TV.
That didn't happen. Then that happened later. The last one you played.
Yeah, but it was about 10 miles from there, you said.
Yeah, 10 miles from the other area. Yep.
Wow. That's wild. I mean, the stuff you've captured is just mind-blowing. And you have like so many experiences that just doesn't include audio. So I was wondering if you have a couple minutes to tell us about, you had a vehicle that you had a really cool story about. It had a small dent in it in the dash. And there was quite an intense experience that's happens behind where how that did happened. So, do you wanna tell us about that? I mean, you don't have to, but
Yeah, I can do that.
yeah.
That's a different area, but it's within 5 miles or so. It's closer to the 2014 area than the other one, but it's a place that we didn't think anything was going on before. We never had anything happen over the years, and about was it 2020? It might have been 2020. We went back in there during the daytime, and we noticed some trees were snapped and bent over. And there was this row of trees, and they were all about 2 or 3, 4 inches in diameter. Same kind of tree, and the one in the one of the trees in the middle of this group was bent over. It's like why didn't it bend the other ones? But we decided to go back there, and Cody, am I still on, or did you lose me?
You're here.
Okay. Um, we call blasted that. First we talked about 40 minutes normal voice in the dark, nothing happened. Then we call blasted a wolf howling. Then we call blasted wolves howling, and we got a what I think is a young one. It sounds a lot like a gibbon monkey kind of a sound, and it came across the ridge and was calling out, and then it stopped. And about 20 minutes later, the rocks started flying. And we've had rocks thrown before, but it's always kind of been they were in your vicinity, kind of like, hey, you might want to think about getting out of here kind of thing.
Right.
But not this night. They pelted the vehicles. They damaged Mike's car. They damaged my Jeep. One of the rocks hit the dish. It was on top of the Jeep, skidded across, and then fell through the moonroof. I had the moonroof open, and I have that rock.
So basically, you kind of ticked them off.
Yeah, I believe it's my theory that we scared the young one. The wolf howling is a predator. Predator
Yep.
they don't probably hear anymore. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
this little one's thinking, "Oh shit, I got something bigger than a coyote running around here."
Mm-hmm.
So that one called out. The cavalry showed up. They didn't find coyotes or wolves, but they found us, and they let
Yep.
us have it. And
That's
I
awesome.
literally was sitting there thinking, I should have brought a football helmet because I'm going to take one off the skull here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And we went back to that location 2 weeks later, and we didn't even have to call blast. We no more than sat up and kaboom. Yep.
Wow. They remembered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Wow. That's wild. And that
course
makes
they
perfect
remember,
sense.
Gwendolyn.
Huh?
Of course they remember. They're like crows. They
Right.
don't forget.
Yeah. And it makes perfect sense why they would react like that to a wolf howl because like you said, they haven't heard that there in a very long time and you scared the little one. It's I'm sure that they pass on their knowledge to
Mm-hmm.
their little ones and it got scared and they made you pay for it by a dented dash.
Yeah, it's they did any creature is not going to like its little one messed with.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
mama bear, daddy bear.
And
Yeah.
when you say it
One,
came crashing through the sunroof, like it broke the sunroof, didn't it?
no, the
Or
moonroof was open.
oh, you had it open.
That's the
Thank gosh.
there's two that came through the moonroof. One of them was the one that hit the dish, skidded across, and fell down in there.
Okay.
Later on, we were leaving. The people that were with me was Noah, my son, and Cody. We were packed up, ready to go. I was waiting on Mike. He was behind me. And they literally, I'm not saying that Bigfoot was shooting hoops, with the moonroof open. All I'm saying is they threw another rock, and this rock was big and it had like dirt. It was like a rock with a dirt clot stuck to
Oh
it.
no. They
And
threw a poop
when they
grenade.
It was
and I'm
poop.
not.
It was poop.
Not, no, it was dirt. It was dirt. I tasted it. It was dirt. We
Oh
all
my
tasted
god!
it actually. No, like I didn't like put it in my mouth, but I'm getting there. But literally, this is what happened. I know this is going to sound insane, but they threw this rock at the Jeep. The moonroof's open. It actually came through the moonroof, hit my dash, put a gouge and dent in the dash, and then the dirt clod part of it exploded. And there was shrapnel of that going through the vehicle. I'm looking down. I'm actually texting Jeff Byers, letting him know what was going on. And when that happened, I'm looking down and I thought my initial reaction was, oh shit, they just shattered my windshield. So I
So what
waited
you're
for
saying, Mike, is they're actually really good shots. They could play in the
yeah.
NBA.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they just
No,
They
dropped it.
know what
Right?
they're throwing.
No, I'm just saying they
Gotta say,
threw it and the thing was open and it went through. But
they
it
made the
probably
basket.
and it probably would have cracked it if it wouldn't have been open. But
I really
I
do have
looked
a
up.
question for you, Mike. Honestly,
I
in
want
your
to
opinion.
Okay.
Okay, I got you at like 21, 22 years of research. And listen, we all go through this. No, you're like 11 to 13. I'm 21 to 22. We all
I'm
go
probably
through this with the batteries. Listen, I just want your just give an idea because there is no correct answer to this question. What does happen? Because so often I fill up all our equipment with batteries. We go set it up, and the next thing you know, they're just all dead. They're brand new batteries. Just bought them from Home Depot. Even like rechargeable stuff, we get out there with it, like stuff that you charge that has the internal battery. You get out there. Sometimes it'll last all night. Sometimes it only lasts like 5 minutes. What's your opinion?
I don't know. I don't think Bigfoot. I don't think drain them or not. I don't know. I just thought we had bad luck that one night, and that's what happened.
Okay.
But
Bad
could be
batch.
wrong.
You and your Browns.
Bad batch of batteries.
Yeah, I just got home, but not to finish the thing. The rock came through, hit the dash, exploded. I'm looking down. Thought that was my windshield. I look up. I'm like, hey, my windshield's still there, and the shrapnel went everywhere. We were actually call blasting through the stereo system in the Jeep and had the doors open earlier, and I had an auxiliary cord plugged into the auxiliary outlet, and the shrapnel hit that cord and bent the prong and destroyed my radio pretty much. But
Wow.
but they threw from behind us because if it came the other way and if it had been in the front of us and came through the moonroof, it'd have hit because Noah was in the back seat, but he was like leaning up in between the seats talking to us.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
If it would have came from the other direction, it has struck him in the forehead.
Right.
Oh.
And at that point, I got pissed. I roll out of the Jeep. I was going to actually fire a warning shot in the tree, but I didn't. But I did scream out, "We're effing leaving!" And
Yeah.
Mike is still putting stuff in his car, and he thought I was yelling at him because he was taking too much time. But I said, "No, I'm not yelling at you. They just threw a damn rock and it just came through the moonroof, and exploded. The clod part of it exploded and was like a hand grenade."
Right. That's
And I know
wild.
and I know
Sounds like you were ready to get out of there.
I know people are saying
Really?
BS.
I don't blame you.
I've got pictures of the inside of my Jeep.
Yeah.
I don't have that
I've
Jeep.
seen it.
And but yeah, that happened.
That's crazy. And okay, so to think a dirt clod around a rock would have had to have already been laying there accessible for some weird reason. The only reason would be a dirt clod around a rock is if they were able to pick up that whole rock with the dirt still on it straight out the ground. Can you imagine the type of strength, the finger strength that would require to just like scoop a dirt with a rock in the middle straight out the ground? I mean, like That's wild to me. Just the thought that that's what they had thrown. Like, how did they get that? They obtained it by like literally just scooping a chunk of the ground out. So that's wild.
Yeah, they have enough power to do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm guessing it reached down and dug it out, and you know,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
chucked.
that's I cut out. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I
I
hear you.
want, oh,
Hello, can you hear me still?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
But go
not
on, what were
now.
you saying?
I I have really favorite places in Ohio that I've been to a couple times, and I went there once with a group of people, but they wouldn't go where I wanted to go, which is okay. But like, I've just got this area that I just love in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
There's a
it's
lot of great hunting places. I call it hunting, but I mean, there's a lot of great researching places in Ohio
there definitely
where
is.
you can go. Because I mean, Ohio is more remote than people realize, than people think. I mean, there's a lot of areas that are just acres of trees
You
for
know what
hundreds of
most people
acres.
think about Ohio, Gwendolyn? I'm going to tell you. They
Cornfields.
go down 75, they drive through all the flat farmland. They don't even
Yeah.
understand how eastern and western Ohio is, like at the Indiana Ohio
Parts
border.
of Appalachia.
The Pennsylvania Ohio. That's my favorite, over by the Pennsylvania
Yeah.
Ohio border. And you just don't. But you think it's 75. Listen, us people from Michigan, we go to Florida, we drive down 75. It's boring, it's plain, it's flat, it's farm, it's like it's not Bigfoot territory.
Yeah.
And so a lot, Ohio gets a bad name for that strip down the middle,
Yeah.
as far as they're not remote. But what a lot of people don't realize is how much land and area and state forests there actually are
Yeah.
on the east side.
Yeah. And Mike, obviously, you've got some great spots where you go research, and because you get a lot of great recordings. I mean, this is just some of the icing on the cake. It's not even everything you have, right?
No, got about 12 years of recordings,
Yeah.
that I've kept and cherish, and but yeah, and sent most of them to David. A few of them I haven't, but he's fleshed them out. But yeah, down where we go, that's the beginning of the Appalachian range, and it's that part of Ohio looks more like West Virginia. But Ohio is boring. I've lived here my whole life. It is pretty damn boring. But
That's why we go out and hunt Bigfoot.
yeah,
All we got to do.
that's right.
That was
Yeah, Mike's
fun.
still got to take me out researching with him. He's never had me out researching with him. We've talked about it a few times, but we've not got to go yet. So we got to do that.
I have to blindfold you.
Blindfold me. I don't care. I trust you. I know that you'll take care of me and take me back where I belong.
Yeah, just it's like a fishing spot. If you got a good fishing spot, you usually don't tell people where it's at.
Yeah.
Once the genie's out of the bag, then people know. But we've had, like,
Yeah.
when we've done the library lectures, we've actually had people come up with a pen and paper. What was that area you went? What's the road you turn on? And we just kind of laugh at them. But I will tell you this, and this is no BS. Some of the areas in Adams County are privately owned, we go to, but some of them are managed by the Edge of Appalachia Preserve. We had to sign an affidavit. We're not allowed to disclose where they're at.
Yeah.
Longitude, nearest street, nearest town, blah, blah, blah. And I asked this guy, like when they do their kind of research, like they count bobcats or they try to count deer, whatever them people do, if they ever find any, weird things. And he says, no. But I said, hey, if there's nothing there, like you say, why do we have to sign an affidavit? And their reply was, do you want to go in there or not? And of course,
And to be truthful, aren't black bear and panther reportings increasing slightly in Ohio?
yes. And there was actually a bear by the cabin this past year when all the because a lot of water sources had shriveled up when the drought conditions we had. But over by the cabin, there's a natural water source that doesn't do that. And this bear out front put claw marks about 7-8 feet up into a tree, and marked it. And some people have seen it. Up the street is a church, and they have a trail cam hooked up to film deer, where they put the deer feed out, and they got Mr. or Mrs. Bear one night, getting into the deer feeder.
Wow. I know that my county where I'm at, we actually do have bear sightings periodically, like once every couple years. They just cross through this area. And this past summer, I was out about 15 minutes from where I live, and there's this big, huge rock. It's like part of, like a little hillside, but there's a rock embedded in it. And you could tell where it looked like a small sized bear had tried to climb up it, and it was slippery. So it was like clawing into the rock, trying to get up it, because you can see where it grips and then it kind of slides. And there's like 3 different places where it looks like it slid on this rock trying to get up. And I got pictures of it. But I definitely think it was a small bear. So because our county's kind of known for having them cross through there. So Ohio definitely has bear. And as far as panthers go, I mean, like, I know that a lot of people are reporting like these Black Panther sightings and stuff in Ohio.
Black Panthers don't exist.
But I'm saying they're reporting them and they're taking video of them. But as far as like cougar go, I mean, we're not that far from Kentucky. I mean, like where I'm at.
Or Michigan. Or Pennsylvania. They're in
we got them here, and for some reason.
So why wouldn't they want to come in to meet the friendly people of Ohio?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And there was a trail cam of someone's property in Kentucky, down in the area we go, just across the river, that got a regular light brown cougar on trail cam. And there are some older women in that area, so there's those kind of cougars also.
They say a male cougar's range is like 80 square miles. That in a year it will cover the whole 80 square miles. That's a lot.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. It's a very vast area.
Worry about bobcats, but a cougar's different. Cougars go up in trees and they look at people as food, and they will drop down on you. And that's why I would never do this by myself. I'd have to go out there. Or flamethrower or something if I did it by myself.
Yeah, we were taught. See, I grew up partially in Kentucky, and we were taught you don't ever walk next to a cliff edge that's above you. If you do, you better keep your eyes up and listen for sounds. But they always told you don't ever walk beneath a cliff edge. You just don't do it, because that's where they like to hang out. Like you said, they go up high and they track their prey from above.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Ohio is a crazy place. It's definitely a place that I enjoy, and I'm kind of lucky. I grew up here in Kentucky and moved to Tennessee for a short while. That kind of sucked, so I definitely don't recommend that. Parts of Tennessee are beautiful.
I have relatives in Tennessee, but it's a nice area where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, parts of Tennessee are beautiful, but it's just way overcrowded. It's super touristy now, so yeah.
Well, go up in the mountains. There's no tourists up there.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, no, it depends on where you go in the mountains, because a lot of people are there to see the mountains.
You might find a bar that's run on a generator, and
that's true. There's
hang out for the night.
There are parts of Tennessee like that. But when you get into those kind of parts of Tennessee, that's when you need to listen for the banjos. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. I hear you on that.
Well, Mike, I have really enjoyed you coming on. I know it's hard to get you on shows, and I'm very lucky that you were able to join us and that you made that sacrifice of listen to us, listen to you the whole way home from work.
Thank you, Mike.
It was a lot of fun. Work gets in the way, but hopefully I'm lining things up that I'm going to put an end to that this year and retire. But I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate it. And if anyone wants to know what we're up to, they can look up Ohio Night Stalkers on Facebook. We have a page.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, definitely do that.
And don't run
Well,
away, Mike. We want to like talk to you right after.
yeah, if you got just a couple seconds after we play our outro, we'll just talk to you, chat with you for a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Tune in next Thursday.
Are you gonna chat through this or like on the phone?
Right here. It won't be live.
Okay. All right.
Join us next Thursday. Bye.